Pops and Chair Shots, Wrestling's Entertainment Champions. And yes, folks, we at it again. It's another Shooting the Ish. And this time, Shooting the Ish has gotten out of this world. Hailing from the stars, Space Jesus herself. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shooting the Ish. Billie Starks, how you doing?
Woo! Woo!
Howdy. Howdy.
Woo, welcome aboard. I appreciate you for spending time with us. The bad guys here ready to shoot the ish. How you feeling tonight? How you doing?
Yo, I swear to God, we've done this before. I promise you.
It's okay.
You're
It's okay.
trash right now, big.
No nice things whatsoever. I promise.
We were like, yo, let's bring up, we're gonna on the podcast, right? We're gonna bring her. We're gonna show off like all the good shit we.
Everything.
And then,
we pulled the curtain back, you know? That's what
yeah.
That's what we did. We had to make it that much special. Pull the curtain back, let you know how it really runs down. But ultimately, we're here. We got you on. We finally got you got to speak with you this evening, and I appreciate your time. You do a lot, and you're very young. 3 years in the game. Am I correct me if I'm wrong? 3 years?
No, that's correct. I'm 3 years in the game.
Wow.
And I'm having a blast.
Oh my God, it's got to be a blast, right?
Yes, most definitely. I did not expect at all to be as far as I already am.
how did that start for you? So like, let's just get right into it. What was your first love of wrestling?
So my stepfather, who's Mouse, introduced me into wrestling, and I fell in love with it since I started watching it. And I think it was more like that was like our relationship was just watching wrestling and Law and Order on the couch together.
Nice.
So my game plan. But this is like the greatest thing I get to tell people of like when I was a little kid, people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I would go a wrestler, a crime investigator, and then ice cream truck driver.
Oh.
That was my top three. I was like, I could knock out all of them if I really wanted to.
Folks, and we just heard the future gimmicks that Billie Starks throughout her career. You heard it here,
The
folks.
nicest things. Oh man.
Where is the ice cream truck driver gonna be? What company is that gonna be with? Because it really depends.
Listen, if Stone Cold could drive a milk,
ice creams.
Yeah. Screw CM Punk. We're gonna be throwing out BSB ice creams. All right. So what flavor is BSB ice cream?
Oh, I am like a cookies and cream person, but then mix in a little bit of caramel with that.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Caramel
I'm
ice
running
cream
to the
cups.
freezer right now. Oh no. Oh man. Billy, what would you say to critics that say you're too young to do what you do?
I say it's like any other sport. Like, I got hurt in cheerleading. I did cross country. My brother did football. He's now doing basketball. And I believe wrestling's different than that, but it's also the same. Like, you're signing up your kid for football and they're getting tackled and they're hitting their heads. And at least in wrestling, I'm learning how to protect myself. And I am also having control over what I do. In a game scenario of a football game, you don't know what this other person's going to do at all.
It's like you've gotten this question before.
I have to deal with a lot of critics, so I got to shut them down somehow.
I bet.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful answer because you're absolutely right? That's something people don't think about. They don't look at wrestling like a sport or a recreational activity. It's just something people do for money. And that's not I mean, yes, but no. You know, at the same time, people enjoy that shit. Like, they do it for the passion. I would assume you're the same, yeah? You love this shit. That's why you're here.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was little, in my head, I did cheerleading for wrestling, and I did the same thing with cross country. I was like, oh, cheerleading will help me with like body control, and I can do those rolls and this and that, and I'd be in decent shape. And then cross country, I was like, I get the cardio up. I'll be running miles around people.
Nice. Well,
That's interesting. See, you think very intelligently. Like, you set up like building blocks. Right, and you're like, all right, well, if I do cross country and I do cheerleading, like, I'll be straight for wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you have that kind of foresight, which is like, well, no, duh, you're a top 20 student. How do you manage?
Oh, it's a lot, but honestly, it's just I have a great support system with my family. My mom is always helping organize my schedule because I'm like all over the place, and then I also just talk to my teachers and have conversations with them because I'm like, hey, I'm gone all weekend. I do not have time to finish this. Can I have like a day extension? I promise it will get done, but I will show you where I'm at all weekend and I will still put an effort to it, but it's not going to be my best work because I just don't have the time. And a lot of times my teachers are understanding of that and I show them what I'm doing on the weekends. So they're like, okay, you're living your best life, kid. Here, we'll give you.
How cool is it? Like, I promise, I was busy this weekend. Check YouTube. Like,
It was really crazy. Like my freshman year, no one knew I was a wrestler. So first couple of weeks of school, like I'm walking in with bruises and everything. And my English teacher pulls me out in the hallway and she's like, is everything all right at home? And I'm confused. I'm like, wait, what does she mean? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, I don't know. My bunnies made a guest appearance.
Hey, Bunny!
The bunnies. Space bunnies out here.
Let's go!
He just wants love.
Thumper, what do
He's
you
mad I haven't been home all day.
think about your career? Is he excited?
Oh, he's angry. Every time he sees like a bag in my room, he'll sit on it so I can't pack it. It's a little
wow. The bunny's territorial. Who would have thought?
Shout out to your English teacher for giving a damn.
Oh yeah.
Yo, for real.
I mean, that would have. Listen, I'm a social worker. That would have definitely been some red flags. But I would have known who you were, so it wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah, right?
I show her like wrestling videos and like stuff, and she understood. But then everybody knew at my school, so I was like, it's fine. So now everybody knows me as like the wrestling kid. So I'll come in like all beat up, and they just know now.
Well, that's a hell of a night.
Being that you have such a great support system, and even understanding teachers, do you wish you would have started earlier?
I honestly think I started at like the perfect time for me. I feel like other people, like their perfect time is different. Like I think it was good for me to start training as young as I was and then waiting till high school to really like get as much momentum as I was getting. You really are just wanting all my attention right now. I'm sorry.
It's because she knows what's on with the bad guys.
Yeah.
But I think people's times are different. For me, it was really, really nice for when I did start. And I think I have really good time management versus I feel like some other people who are still wrestling and doing school, it's a lot to take on. And you really do need a lot of support from other people because I definitely would not be able to do this without like my family and some of the like support from my teachers. So shout out to all of them.
Hey, shout out to the teachers, straight A's. Don't forget it.
And you've done it with good reason. Your work speaks for itself. You've had plenty of matches. I'm talking title matches. You've had intergender matches. I'm talking ladder matches. My God, including matches with some of the best talent in the world in the PWI this year in Diana Perazzo. Talk to me about how experiencing big time matches like this go for you. Like how do you experience that? How does that work?
So I got a lot of those big time opportunities just by like showing face and making people know who I am. Like I would show up to shows and help out and I would get an opportunity and I would show out. So they would give me more and more as time went on. And it's been really, really helpful for my career because I feel like you learn so much more from people who are more experienced than you in a ring. And especially just having a match with them, it like brings you up to their level and you learn so much more.
That's awesome.
And here you are 3 years in and you're talking about levels. You're no longer at the baseline level. All right, you are 104 on that PWI list.
You on
How
there?
does it feel? Go like getting that rocket strap and hitting from 440, right? You were at 441 to 104. How did that feel opening that magazine? Clicking that link. Better yet.
It's very like it's one of those awe moments where it's like all my hard work is kind of paying off and it's something that like visualizes that because sometimes it's like I'm working and sometimes you feel like you get stuck at like a point. And COVID was like one of those times where I was like, I feel stuck, but little did I know I was really doing a lot more than what other people were doing. And it was really, really shocking to see like how much I've grown.
That's good. And when you keep your head down and work and just grind it out, and look at that. You don't even worry about anybody else who comes show. You're light years ahead. You're way ahead of the pack.
Is that a space pun?
All puns intended.
Shout out to the Buzz Lightyear movie coming out.
Yo, for real. I saw that coming out. Little man was telling me about that one.
That shit look legit.
Is it live action?
No, it's animated. Chris Evans is the voice.
Billy Starks, you watching Buzz Lightyear?
Most definitely.
Hell yeah, right?
Crazy. So let me ask you. Talk about spaces and lights and all that shit. Let's forget about that. Let's talk about the locker room, right? You were mentioning how hard your schedule is, how much you have to get done. Who in the locker room has been influential as far as knowing what to do for the business, especially at your age? There's so much on the plate.
I don't want to give it to just like one person.
You don't have to. Spread the wealth.
Give us a list. It's all good.
Give the list. When
I believe Drake, it wasn't all him.
When I first started, my trainers were super helpful and super supportive of me. And like, I'm slow sometimes because I am not athletic and I have to try really hard for what I do. And I was so thankful for like all of them taking their time with me and just like working out all of the kinks. So like shout out to my original trainers like Aaron LaMotta and Rudy Switchblade. Both of them helped me out so much. And then also just traveling and meeting so many people. I got to go train with Trey Miguel and he helped me out a lot. Like there's a wrestling show called Rockstar and I would go there when I was still a photographer. I was like 11 and 12 shooting pictures, but I would go and like hang out with these people and I would listen to them call matches and they would have conversations with me and like answer all my questions. So before I even stepped into a ring, I understood like wrestling psychology because they took that time to explain it to me.
That just again another level up, another advantage there, man. That's what's up. That is what's
Trey Miguel had a good weekend this weekend.
Oh yes. Yes he did. Indeed.
Definitely new X Division champ at Impact Wrestling.
And speaking of people you admire, we know very well Millie McKenzie's one of your dream matches, a dream opponent. Number one, yeah. Any thoughts on the other half of the Chris Evans, her partner?
Oh, Charlie?
Charlie.
I love Charlie Evans. But I have one problem. It makes me so angry.
Ooh, tell us.
This chips thing she calls fries chips. It makes me so upset. I don't know why, but like just hearing, she was like, "Oh, do you guys have hot chips?" And I'm thinking like Takis, Cheetos. Like, no, she was talking about French fries.
No, they're not chips. And you cannot come here and call them chips.
It's like the battle of wings all over again.
To be fair, they may be chips where she comes from.
She's not there. She's here. There's no chips here. Yeah. You get kettle cooked chips if you ask for chips out here. So you just had your PSATs recently. How'd you do? You did all right?
I haven't got my scores back,
Ooh.
but I feel like I did pretty decent. I got all the questions answered at least.
Well, that's
I think I got a decent score. Literally the hardest part was the math with no calculator, because all years they've let me use a calculator for every single test. So I was like, I haven't used my brain in a while. I know what problem I have to do this, but how do I do multiplication again?
Yo, you have a computer in your pocket. You should be able to have.
I got yelled at during the PSAT. So.
Oh, you in trouble.
Tell me you cut a promo.
Do not incriminate yourself.
My teachers were so angry at me. So they like give us a break halfway through, and they're like, "Oh, eat your snacks and like take a break." And they made us put all of our backpacks on the bleachers. So I go up to the bleacher to go grab my snack, and she starts yelling at me. And I'm like, "What's going on? I'm grabbing my food." Take in mind, we had like took this test for like 4 hours now, and it's like almost noon. I'm hungry. So I'm trying to grab my snacks, and she like runs up the bleachers and is like, "You can't get in your backpack. What are you doing?" And I was like, "I just want my food." And she was like, "You had to take it out before the test." And I was like, "Can you just grab my food?" She's like, yes, I can grab.
Travesty.
How dare you! Don't you dare touch your backpack
We
during
avoided
break.
crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. You can get the snack out.
Billy's like, if you don't let me get my food, someone's going through a table. Someone's getting chopped. I'm hungry. It's happening.
So funny at the very end of the test, like they collected everything and they just said, "Okay, you guys have to put away all these tables and stuff."
Oh.
And I was thinking about it, like what is this? I have to go back to class.
Like they put you on ring crew for PSATs.
Pay your dues. Pay your dues.
Hey, what the heck, man?
Oh, dude. Speaking of paying dues, you've been everywhere. We recognize you from New Texas Pro specifically, Black Label Pro, and all of that. Anywhere you specifically want to call home, or you feel like is that more special to you?
I would like to say like wrestling is just my home in general, but like I also like to give a shout out to places that like did give me like my first ever really big opportunities. And I say like Girl Fight's one of my homes where I hold a title right now. St. Louis Anarchy, I feel like my family's there too. And I feel like the more and more places I start to go, the more and more family I just add on. Right now we have like the kids group at GCW. It's me, Nick Wayne, Marcus Mathers, and Starboy Charlie. And we were all hanging out last time we were in AC together, just goofing around, grabbing food. We were out till like 2 a.m. and we were in the ring just rolling around and being goofs.
Enjoying your time, bro. Living your best life. That's awesome.
That's what it's about.
That's great. So I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about the Billie Starkz brand. Right, we know one of the most important brands in wrestling, right? Top flight names, top flight talent. But before we get into talent, what are the humble origins of Billie Starkz brand? Like, how did that even come about?
So it came about during COVID. I went through like a really bad like depression because I didn't have wrestling. Like I missed my friends. I wasn't seeing anybody. And I'm one of those people when I am like trapped in the house, I'm like, why am I not anywhere? Why am I not in a car right now traveling 12 hours somewhere? So COVID hit me a little strong. And during this, Mouse, who's my stepfather, made a joke and he's like, "Oh, I'm the LeVar Ball of wrestling. Don't make it slow," referring to me. So honestly, BSB is just a play off of BBB, Big Baller Brand.
Nice.
But he posted that, someone made the jokes that we're the Big Starkz brand, and we made it as a joke, and we're like, "Oh, we'll just sell t-shirts of it. It's funny." And it was something to just make me smile during COVID because I was not the happiest, but it turned my frown upside down. And the Big Starkz brand went further than what we could ever like guess that it would.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's
So now you got a little stable. You got a roster.
yeah.
So how do you decide who deserves the BSB? You know, like who deserves to be a part of the group? You know what I mean?
It's whoever's family. Like honestly, who's gonna be part of the wrestling family? The Big Starkz family. So it started off with just people who were really close to me. So there was Calvin Tankman, Cole Radrick, freaking Trey Lamar. just a bunch of people who were like around during COVID time, just trying to make me smile. And then we started being like, "Oh, I like you too. Here's a knee pad sleeve. Here's a knee pad." And then we had people start asking, and we're like, "Who are we to tell you no?"
That's the beautiful thing about when times are hard, you lean on family, right? And look at what it amounted to. That is awesome.
It's crazy. Like the more and more I think about it, because it's like all my friends are like on TV companies. The freaking MLW, Calvin's wearing it. Alex Kane's wearing it. And then at AEW, we have Top Flight wearing it. And Daniel Garcia got one, but he wears it every now and again. We have to yell at him sometimes.
You gotta represent the brand, bro. You're on TV.
And then ROH, the funny story. So Michael Bennett came for a seminar, and I went to it, and he was like, "Can I join the Big Stars brand?" And I was like, "Of course." So that man's wearing my knee pad sleeve because I had nobody else's. So I was like, I'm gonna give away my own knee pad sleeve so I can see this on ROH.
Let's go. Let's go. That's hot.
Nice.
Maybe. Go ahead, Mitch.
No, that's it. I mean, ROH. You got until the end of the year, right, to pretty much carry that
Yeah,
out.
right.
News to everybody, man. That's crazy.
Depressing news today. Definitely depressing news.
We in celebration. We gonna remember the good times with ROH and ride with them. We gonna ride the wave. We waiting for them for the next rise for sure. That's a fact. You juggle a lot. You do school, wrestling, and everything else personally. How do you find the time to just let loose and just chill down? And what do you do to just relax?
To be 17.
Yeah.
I don't get much time to myself, but when I do, I enjoy sleeping a lot. That is a favorite pastime.
Yes.
That is self-care, folks.
For
I
real.
don't. All the haters, sleep is important. We spend more than half of our life sleeping. We should spend more.
We should spend more.
And some more.
But I also like just playing video games and hang out with my friends. Like a lot of my high school friends just know that I'm gone every weekend. So they get really happy when I hit them up and I'm like, "I'm home this week." And they're like, "Okay, what we doing?"
Yo, you still on Call of Duty and Dead by Daylight?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
I actually
okay.
put down COD and went to playing Splitgate. I don't know why, but Splitgate I'm pretty obsessed with right now.
Splitgate's popping right now. Splitgate is definitely popping. We have a stream ourselves, so if ever you want a game with us, jump on. Feel free, man. HPC Too Sweet. We're on Twitch.
This guy loves playing Super Smash, bro.
Man, I play it all.
I get so angry.
Yeah.
I only for that side of me.
Definitely,
That's the
definitely.
fun part. When people start losing their shit.
It gets toxic.
No!
Free entertainment.
Yes.
You have to pay good money for that.
We definitely do.
Vic got excited and his camera turned
Yeah,
on.
for real.
He starts nerding out on video games. And
It's a
forget
wrap
about
after
You
that.
mentioned games, it was a wrap. The fucking computer over blue.
it. What else? You playing Splitgate? What else are you rocking? Or just that? Like, you're just obsessed. That's it. It's.
I kind of like focus in on like one main game at like a time. But on my phone at school, I've been playing like the monkey balloon game that used to be like popping like back in 2018.
Wow.
And I don't know why it like popped up in my Play Store, and I was like, you know what? I'm bored. Let's play this.
Monkey
I've
Balloon
been-
Game. Is that like Super Monkey Ball? Is that it?
No, it's
No?
like balloons, tower defense, something like that. I don't know.
I'm gonna
It
the
was
equivalent
like-
of playing with a box, mischief. It's fun just because it's fun.
Oh, I'm downloading it. I want more like games on my phone. I don't play games on my phone as much.
Dead by Daylight is definitely dope, though.
Competitive game where you use monkeys to pop balloons, but you're playing against another player. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
You ever
It's
play?
a time waster during school when I'm like finished all my work and my teacher's just being annoying.
You're like, all right. Well, now I'm just gonna play Monkey Ball. What's that? Vic, what's that game with the kickball? That game is dope.
Dodgeball, you mean? It's Knockout
Knockout.
City. Knockout City. We've been on that for a little bit too.
Oh
We've been on
yeah.
Knockout City. It's
Right.
pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Definitely goes in. Definitely goes in.
Then the other usuals, the Call of Duties.
I haven't tried it out yet.
You
Yeah.
haven't tried it out? Oh, you will be addicted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
no.
it's literally it's Fortnite meets shooter meets dodgeball. Like it's
Pretty much.
same controls and stuff.
People were trying to tell me it was like Splatoon a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Stylistic.
easier to play with though.
Easier?
Yeah, for sure. Because Splatoon was hard as hell to even get used to the buttons. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, less buttons to press, I guess, with Knockout City.
Yeah.
You like Splatoon?
I was cool with it. I was never like, that was my go-to game. But like, if my friends wanted to play it, I'd be kicking butt at some Splatoon.
Nice.
I never got the hang of it. I was always like, all right, I'm over this game. This is like a shake weight. I don't want to play this. Let's play something else.
Apex is also something we played too, but not too much of because we were ass.
Apex made me angry. I'd rather play like Overwatch. I was obsessed with Overwatch for a hot minute.
Oh, Overwatch. I love Overwatch. Who you using on Overwatch?
Oh, I'm like the jerk that uses Diva all the time.
Oh, you send the robot, you blow everybody up. I hate you. I hate you.
Being that you're on the road, who is it that's a gamer that we wouldn't expect that you've actually played with?
Ooh, I don't really play with any like wrestling people, honestly.
Oh.
Like I talked about it with like Cole, and Cole's only played like a couple games of Call of Duty with me. But this man, when I'm doing call outs, I'm like, go to your left, Cole. This man goes to his right and gets shot. And I've never been more angry like playing.
Got it. So I can't play with you. Got it. All right.
That's how villains feels when he plays Call of Duty with me. It's probably the worst game that I've ever.
Down either.
It's hard. It gets toxic, man. It gets toxic. I stick to Fortnite. I still suck at that too, but it's easier for me.
I've played a few games. I don't know why. I think it's more because my little brother's better at it, so I kind of stay away from it because I don't need him getting any W's over me.
Right. We can't have that. We can't not have that.
And he had the unfair advantage. You was on the road. He was home practicing.
Word.
It's not fair.
That's cheating.
Right now, I'm stuck playing like 2K, and this man is like playing as Obama right now. And he missed Obama.
That is the greatest idea on earth.
They got like a whole crew.
I love
That
it.
is hilarious.
Shout out to
Wow.
2K, man. Still
Silky
doing it.
smooth too.
I wonder if Obama plays as Obama
Mm.
when he plays 2K.
I wonder if Rock Obama plays as Obama.
Billy Starks, when you are in a video game, will you play as yourself?
I have to try it out, but I probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't be like myself as main. I would choose something like stupid.
I'm sure there's a few 2K20s or 19s out there with Billy Starks downloaded.
We
Somewhere.
already know Billy Starks, ice cream truck driver.
Yeah,
We
I'm
already
sure,
know.
I'm sure of it.
That's the gimmick.
Big facts. We're gonna have our league of our own, and we're definitely gonna get that character down. Don't worry about it for sure. We'll have that. Billy, backstage. I know we've spoken about like what you call home and all that. Has there been any rough experiences for you that maybe you don't have to be any specific, but like anything that maybe would have affected your confidence at any point in your career?
Luckily, like my parents have traveled with me like everywhere, so I've never really truly been alone.
Awesome.
So I've never had a situation where I've been like, oh God, what is going on? Because I always had like that fallback, and luckily I would also always have that person in the locker room. I've never felt like I don't know nobody. I would always have like that person I can go to and be like, hey, what's going on right now?
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful thing to have. That support again, just another layer of it, and then that's much needed for times like that. I'm happy for you, man. That's a blessing, for sure.
I've been real lucky because I've heard like horror stories and I've never luckily had one.
Hopefully that will not be the case.
No.
Definitely. But you know what? There's something you will not have support for, and that is our lightning round of questions. We like to end our interviews with a lightning round of questions. We're gonna shoot out questions. Missy's gonna give it to you, and you just answer first thought in your mind.
That's right. So just rapid fire. What's your favorite cheat meal?
Reese's Cups.
Reese's Cups? Do you freeze them?
No?
Oh, I never freeze them.
Oh, you gotta freeze them.
Do you have a
thing.
particular way to eat them? Like, do you eat the outsides first, or do you just bite it right into it, or take off the chocolate, leave the peanut butter?
Food. Like if I'm just snacking, I'll bite around and then bite the middle part. But if I'm
Mhm.
hungry, it's just big bite.
No chance.
And
What's
I'm
Bi-
mad after those big bites because then it feels like it was too fast.
You're like, damn, I should have had another.
Already gone.
What's Billy Stark's favorite movie?
Oh, Heather's.
Really?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Heathers, 1989. Christian Slater. Okay, Winona Ryder.
I'm really surprised you know that. Although I shouldn't be, really. Billy Stark's, what, if you could pick a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, freaking teleporting.
I
One place to
knew it!
another.
I
My
know
life
it.
would be so much easier. I get so much more sleep.
That,
Snap my when I wake up. Somewhere else.
that is
That is
old
true.
reliable for all wrestlers. There's like 98% of wrestlers say teleportation or flying for that exact same
They're
reason.
And
cheating,
they'll creep
Mischief.
save invincibility.
They're cheating.
Yeah, the
They're
creep save
cheating.
is- Anybody that has said invisibility on this show, don't share like a woman. Just say it's a little weird. Now, who's someone that you want to meet, either fictional or in real life?
Ooh. I want to meet Millie McKenzie. Like, that's my dream right there.
Ooh,
There it is.
That
Damn.
lady,
It is.
like, I just want to hear about her life and everything else. But like, I'm also a big fan of like backyard wrestling. So if I didn't meet Matt DeMorris, like, I probably would have said him because he was like one of those people I would binge watch when I was just wanting to watch wrestling. And everybody makes fun of me for it, but I love backyard wrestling. Like, there's some decent backyard wrestling if you look for it. And he was part of like this company called BXW, and I was obsessed with it.
Mhm.
You like what you like, you know? Hey.
That's right. You don't see it as outlaw mud shows, is what you're saying. Like, this is like your preferred
just,
genre.
like, it's everything. And like at shows nowadays, like I feel like everything's kind of predictable from a lot of the matches, but for some reason I will watch a backyard match and have no idea what's going to happen next. It has my attention the full time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times those backyard matches, they don't have scripts. Whatever breaks, you go with. You know,
Whatever
it's
breaks,
kind of
breaks.
impromptu.
Light tubes, tables, arms, like legs, whatever,
Ankles.
you know? And you know what? It shows in your style. Cause you're hard hitting. Like, you don't take no shit from nobody. You've been in the ring with the likes of like Calvin Tackman. You are not someone to be taken lightly for sure. So you can see a little bit of that gangster ass death match in Billy Starks. You know what I mean? That's part of your DNA. What is the dumbest way you've ever been injured?
I dove to the concrete and busted the side of my head open.
Oh, God.
It's probably like my dumbest and my worst injury. But that's probably the worst. It was just an accident. Didn't get
man.
caught, ate concrete.
No
And I
concussion
didn't even
or
know I
anything?
busted my head open. I was more worried about my knee. I like scraped my knee on the concrete. I was like, oh, my leg hurts. And they're like, your head.
How, did you get a lot of stitches? It was crazy.
I got staples. So I got like 3 or 4 staples on the
Right.
side of my head. It wasn't bad at all. It happened about a year ago because it happened at the Indie Collective.
Wow. And
Wow.
I'm assuming, I'm sure they tested it for like concussion and all that stuff too, right? And
Oh yeah, they tested me during the match because everybody was trying to take me out, and I was like, "Nah, I'm finishing. It's not that bad." And like the EMT came out like halfway through the match and was like, "You good? What's your name? Okay, I'll talk to you in the back afterwards." Because like everybody swarmed me, and I was like, "I'm fine, guys. Just leave me alone." And then I do remember Mouse the rest of the match is just cross-armed, just looking at me, shaking his head. And then my mom yelled at Marco Stunt and Joey Janela to get away from me. She's like, she's fine, she's fine.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, Mama knows.
That's what's When you started there, I was like, oh, your mom's gonna be upset. Like, she was gonna be like, oh, my daughter. No, she was like, let her rock. Don't you fucking dare.
She checked on me. She was like, how you feeling? You okay? Okay. Are you sure? You sure? Okay. And then she was like, just let her do her thing. We'll make sure she's okay afterwards.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, Mama
So-
There you go.
Mama
How did
knows.
you explain that one to your teachers?
Well, we did it. We just tried to hide it as best as possible.
They're like, don't go to YouTube this weekend. I'll do all that. Gotcha.
I was
Don't watch
Yeah, let's skip this one. So, in terms of wrestling, right? What's more important, in your opinion? Right, this is totally your opinion. What's more important, the face or the heel?
I feel honestly the baby face, because it's really what makes people love wrestling. I feel like that's how you get fans. The heels just add on to it to bring in more hatred to get more love.
So the end result is always like soup up the baby face.
Yes, like the heel is just an enhancement for the baby face. That's like what truly is a heel's job.
All
Of
right.
course, put the baby face over all times.
Yes, all times.
What's
Just like
up?
the bunny.
Yeah, it's just like Thumper just put you over before.
Freaking, this man has not left me alone the entire time.
Oh wow.
Bunny.
Bunny. Big Pop for Bunny. Who's your favorite heel?
Ooh. I'm so picky.
Well, what are
I
some of
feel
the
like
other traits?
every time, like, he doesn't mean to be a heel, but every time I watch him, I'm like, you're such a butthole. Is like Trey Lamar because of how cocky he is.
Okay.
Nice.
People love me, and I'm like, do they?
Wow.
That report
you
must be so
listening?
gold, yo. Just like,
But also, I love GPA as a heel. Like, I could never see that man going babyface. He is so hated.
And you're a big time baby face. So what's your favorite role to play?
I'm gonna be honest, like, it's fun being a babyface and like making people smile, but I like am such a jerk sometimes where I'm like, I need to get all this negativity out. Let me
Yes, the heel.
Another one for the bad guys.
I
Yeah.
think, like, if people knew the real you and like how much of a butthole you were, this is definitely the role for you.
Do you have any pre-show rituals? Like, what are you listening to get hyped, to get in the mood for the, for the match? What puts you in that headspace?
So I really I don't know why, I really don't have a ritual. My ritual is stretching. Like, I always stretch before I do anything, just to try to like keep my body in decent shape.
Right. And any
that's,
headphones
like,
in?
No, I don't really listen to music because I kind of like just talk too much.
Like, this stops me from talking. I can't listen. See, then wrestling is your perfect job. You landed in the most beautiful place for yourself. This is great. Thank you so much, Billie Starkz, for your time, man. We really appreciate you. So, just last thing, right? What would you say to the fans? People that are watching Billie Starkz, people that don't know Billie Starkz, the 104 ranked PWI women's wrestler. So, Billie Starkz, what do you got to say to those people?
Just enjoy wrestling and better be on the lookout for me.
Woo.
You're coming.
Entertainment of the year.
You're coming to GCW JCW November 7th. Do I have that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
We are gonna be there cheering you on. We're gonna be there, the loudest motherfuckers in the building. Billie Starkz,
You gonna hear
BSB.
it?
We are here. We got you. We can't wait to see you. Billie Starkz, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you hanging with us.
Much truly appreciated.
Thank you so much for having me again, guys.
Hell
Oh,
yeah!
let's go. Thank
Proud
you
of
so
you.
much, Billie. I appreciate you.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you're so good. You're so good. Don't worry about it. We're gonna definitely check you out on November the 7th.
Yes.
Where you're
Don't
like,
worry about that, guys.
We're gonna be cheering you on. Can't wait. I appreciate your time once again, and please wish you nothing but the best on your career. Good luck going forward.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Always a pleasure.
take care.
Yeah, fanning us forever. It's a pleasure.
Great.
Hey, subscribe and like, hit that button right now. All right, follow us on Twitch, SoundCloud, iTunes, your mother's